Welcome to our deep dive into the world of the Vikings. These Scandinavian seafarers, often depicted with horned helmets, though they actually didn't wear those in battle, have captured our imaginations for centuries. They were fierce warriors, yes, but also shrewd traders, explorers who sailed across vast oceans, and craftspeople who left behind intricate works of art. Their impact on history from Europe to North America is undeniable. Today we're uncovering 10 incredible facts about these legendary Norse seafarers, venturing beyond the stereotypes to uncover the true complexity of their civilization. Prepare to be amazed by their shipbuilding prowess, their far-reaching voyages, and their surprisingly sophisticated legal systems. So get ready to set sail on a journey through time as we explore the fascinating world of the Vikings. The Vikings were masters of the sea, and their longships were marvels of engineering, especially for their time. These vessels, built with overlapping planks of oak, were both strong and flexible, able to withstand the roughest seas. What's truly remarkable is the Vikings' understanding of buoyancy and hydrodynamics. Long before those concepts were formally defined, the longships' shallow draft allowed them to navigate rivers and coastlines with ease, giving them a tactical advantage in raids and surprise attacks. Imagine the sheer craftsmanship involved in constructing these ships without the aid of modern tools. Each vessel was a testament to the skill and ingenuity of the Viking shipwrights, who relied on their deep knowledge of wood and traditional techniques passed down through generations. These ships weren't just tools of war, though. They were also instruments of exploration and trade, carrying the Vikings across vast distances, enabling them to establish settlements and forge connections across the known world. Driven by a combination of factors, a yearning for new lands, political pressures back home, and the lure of riches, the Vikings embarked on a remarkable chapter of expansion. Their settlements, initially established through raids, eventually evolved into thriving communities. They established settlements in England, Ireland, Scotland, France, and even parts of Russia. Imagine the cultural exchange, the blending of traditions that must have occurred as the Vikings interacted with diverse peoples and societies. These weren't just temporary outposts. The Vikings integrated themselves into the existing social fabric, marrying into local populations, adopting local customs, and even contributing to the development of new towns and cities. The legacy of these Viking settlements is still evident today in place names, archaeological sites, and even the genetic makeup of populations across Europe. You know, we often think of Vikings as these fierce warriors driven by conquest. And while that's partially true, their motivations, their entire worldview was deeply intertwined with their religious beliefs. We're talking about Norse mythology, a complex tapestry of gods, giants, monsters, and realms that would make even the most imaginative science fiction writer blush. Their pantheon, unlike the Greek gods who relaxed on Mount Olympus, were active participants in the cosmos. Odin, the All-Father, sacrificed an eye for wisdom and hung himself from the world tree Yggdrasil to gain knowledge of the runes. Talk about commitment. Thor, the god of thunder, with his mighty hammer Mjolnir, defended Asgard, the realm of the gods, from giants and chaos. Imagine the raw power needed to wield a hammer that could level mountains and call down lightning storms. These weren't just stories to the Vikings, they were living, breathing forces that shaped their destiny. Their myths explained the natural world, the human condition, and their place within the grand cosmic order. All right, let's talk about what made the Vikings such formidable warriors. And no, it wasn't just their fierce beards, though I'm sure those helped. We're talking about their weapons, crafted with skill and imbued with a certain Viking flair. First up, the axe. Not just any axe, mind you. The Viking axe was a work of art, balanced, deadly, and often given names like leg biter or skull splitter. These weren't just tools, they were extensions of the warrior himself. Then we have the sword, often double-edged, double-handed, and perfect for cleaving through shields and enemies alike. These swords, often passed down through generations, held immense value, both practical and sentimental. And let's not forget the spear, a versatile weapon for both throwing and close combat. Imagine a shower of spears raining down on enemy lines, followed by a fierce charge. The Vikings were masters of psychological warfare. When we think Vikings, the first image that comes to mind is often a warrior, axe in hand, raiding a coastal village. But the Vikings were more than just raiders. They were savvy traders, explorers, and diplomats who established vast trade networks that spanned continents. Their reach extended far beyond the battlefields, from the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the bustling markets of Constantinople and beyond. Imagine, if you will, their longships laden not with warriors, but with furs, walrus ivory, honey, and slaves, navigating the rivers of Russia, reaching the Black Sea and the great Byzantine Empire. They traded these goods for silk, silver, spices, and other luxury items, which they then brought back to Scandinavia or traded elsewhere. This extensive trade network wasn't just about material wealth, it was about cultural exchange. The Vikings, through their trade, encountered a tapestry of cultures, languages, and ideas, which they absorbed and adapted, enriching their own. They brought back new technologies, artistic motifs, and stories from distant lands, weaving them into the fabric of Viking society. When we think of Vikings, we often picture fierce warriors, and while their martial prowess is undeniable, it's crucial to remember they weren't just conquerors. They were also skilled artisans, demonstrating remarkable craftsmanship in various mediums, from intricate metalwork to elaborate wood carvings. One area where their artistic talents truly shone was in the creation of jewelry. Utilizing materials like silver, gold, and bronze, Viking artisans crafted stunning pieces, from intricate brooches and pendants to arm rings and bracelets. These weren't merely decorative, they often held symbolic meaning, reflecting Norse mythology or social status. Beyond personal adornment, Viking craftsmanship extended to larger objects like ships, houses, and even weapons. They were masters of woodworking, shipbuilding being a prime example. Their longship design, with its clinker-built hull and elegant lines, was a testament to their understanding of both form and function. These ships weren't just vessels, they were works of art that facilitated exploration, trade, and of course raids. Furthermore, Vikings were adept at weaving and textile production. Using wool from their sheep and linen from flax, they created clothing, blankets, and tapestries, often incorporating complex patterns and designs. These textiles served both practical and decorative purposes, adding a touch of artistry to their daily lives and demonstrating their resourcefulness. Now, you might not expect a society known for its warrior culture to have a complex legal system, but the Vikings were surprisingly ahead of their time. Their reputation as fierce warriors often overshadows the fact that they had a well-organized and sophisticated society. Their society was governed by a system of laws and customs, with a strong emphasis on honor, personal responsibility, and community involvement. This system was not just about maintaining order, but also about ensuring that everyone had a voice and a role in the community. Central to their legal system was the Thing, an assembly where free men could voice their opinions, settle disputes, and make decisions affecting the community. The Thing was more than just a legal body. It was a place where the community came together to discuss important matters and ensure that justice was served. Imagine a town hall meeting, but instead of folding chairs and lukewarm coffee, you have axes and mead. The atmosphere was charged with the energy of people who took their roles seriously and were deeply invested in the outcomes. Okay, maybe not axes in the meeting itself, but you get the point. The thing was a place where the community's collective wisdom was harnessed to make decisions that affected everyone. It was a direct democracy in action, centuries before such concepts took root elsewhere. Every freeman had the right to speak and be heard, making the thing a truly democratic institution. Within these things, laws weren't simply handed down from a king or chieftain. Instead, they were discussed and agreed upon by the community, ensuring that they reflected the collective will. While leaders existed, they were expected to rule with the consent of the governed. This meant that leaders had to be wise and just, as their power was not absolute but contingent on the support of the people. Disputes were often settled through a combination of fines, oaths, and trials, with a strong emphasis on restitution and maintaining social harmony. The goal was not just to punish, but to restore balance and ensure that the community remained united. Of course, their legal system wasn't perfect. There were still elements of their warrior culture that influenced their approach to justice. Physical violence, particularly duels, remained a socially acceptable way to settle some disputes. These duels were not just about personal honor, but also about demonstrating one's strength and resolve. However, the Vikings' emphasis on community involvement, personal accountability, and a degree of democratic process reveals a surprisingly sophisticated legal structure for their time. Their legal system was a reflection of their values and their commitment to ensuring that everyone had a voice and a role in the community. In many ways, the Viking legal system was ahead of its time, laying the groundwork for more modern concepts of justice and democracy. It is a testament to their ingenuity and their ability to balance their warrior ethos with a commitment to fairness and community. So the next time you think of Vikings, remember that they were not just fierce warriors, but also pioneers of a complex and surprisingly modern legal system. Their legacy is not just one of conquest and exploration, but also of governance and community. When we talk about exploration, our minds often jump to the likes of Columbus or Magellan, those iconic figures who embarked on daring voyages across uncharted waters. But long before these famed explorers set sail, the Vikings, those intrepid seafarers from the north, were already charting unknown territories. They were pushing the boundaries of the known world, expanding our understanding of the globe and leaving an indelible mark on history. Driven by a thirst for adventure, new lands, and let's be honest, a bit of plunder, Viking explorers ventured far beyond their Scandinavian homelands. Their journeys were not just about conquest, but also about discovery and trade. Their longships, those marvels of maritime engineering, were key to their success. These ships were not only fast and agile, but also incredibly versatile. These vessels, capable of navigating both open ocean and shallow rivers, allowed them to reach destinations previously thought impossible. The design of the longship was revolutionary, enabling the Vikings to explore, trade, and raid with unprecedented efficiency. Their explorations took them eastward across the Baltic Sea, where they established trading posts and raided settlements along the Volga and Dnieper rivers. These routes opened up new opportunities for commerce and cultural exchange. These eastward journeys brought them into contact with the Byzantine Empire, a center of wealth and culture, and even as far as the Caspian Sea, demonstrating their incredible reach and ambition. The interactions with the Byzantines were particularly significant, as they brought back not only goods but also new ideas and technologies. But their voyages weren't limited to the east. The Vikings were equally daring in their westward explorations. They sailed west, braving the treacherous North Atlantic to reach the Faroe Islands and Iceland. These voyages were perilous, with the North Atlantic's unpredictable weather and rough seas posing constant threats. These islands, with their harsh climates and volcanic landscapes, became stepping stones for even bolder voyages further west. The Vikings' ability to adapt to these challenging environments speaks volumes about their resilience and ingenuity. These intrepid explorers were about to stumble upon a land completely unknown to them, a land that would forever change our understanding of Viking history. This land, which we now know as North America, was a testament to their unyielding spirit of exploration and discovery. Their settlements in this new world, though short-lived, were a remarkable achievement and a testament to their far-reaching influence. You know, when we think about the Vikings, we often picture fierce warriors, longboats, and maybe even a little bit of pillaging. But the Vikings were more than just raiders. They were explorers, traders, and, surprisingly, cultural influencers. One of the most enduring legacies of the Vikings is their impact on language. Take the English language, for example. It's peppered with words that have Norse origins, like berserk, skull, and even Thursday, named after the Norse god Thor. Who knew that the very words we use today carry whispers of these ancient seafarers? It's fascinating to think that the Vikings, who were once seen as outsiders, invaders, have left such an indelible mark on the very fabric of our language. And it's not just English. Their influence can be seen in languages across Europe, from Russian to French, a testament to their far-reaching travels and interactions. This linguistic legacy is a powerful reminder that history is not merely a collection of dusty tales. It's woven into our everyday lives, often in the most unexpected places. So the next time you utter a word with Viking roots, remember the enduring impact of these remarkable seafarers. Now let's dive into the world of Viking legends, where history and myth intertwine to create captivating tales of adventure, heroism, and of course a healthy dose of drama. The Viking Age, spanning from the late 8th to early 11th century, was a time of exploration, conquest, and cultural exchange. It was during this era that the stories of legendary figures like Ragnar Lothbrok began to take shape, blending historical events with mythological elements to create enduring narratives. These stories, passed down through generations, offer a glimpse into the Viking psyche, their values, and their understanding of the world. The sagas and poems that recount their tales were not merely for entertainment, they were a means of preserving history, teaching lessons, and instilling a sense of identity and pride among the Norse people. One such legend revolves around Ragnar Lothbrok, a figure shrouded in both historical and mythical accounts. According to the sagas, Ragnar was a fearsome warrior and a cunning leader, known for his daring raids and his insatiable thirst for adventure. His exploits took him across the seas to distant lands, where he faced formidable foes and overcame incredible odds. Was he a real Viking chieftain who wreaked havoc on England and France, or was he a composite of several historical figures, his exploits amplified through storytelling? The truth may never be fully known, but the legend of Ragnar Lothbrok has left an indelible mark on the annals of Viking history. His story is a testament to the power of oral tradition and the enduring appeal of a well-crafted tale. The debate rages on among historians, but one thing's for sure: Ragnar's story, whether entirely true or embellished, captures the Viking spirit of adventure and daring. His legendary raids on the coasts of England and France, his battles with rival chieftains, and his cunning strategies all paint a picture of a man who embodied the very essence of the Viking warrior ethos. From his legendary battles against the Saxons and Franks to his supposed death in a pit of vipers, Ragnar's saga is a roller coaster of epic proportions. His death, as recounted in the sagas, is particularly dramatic, symbolizing the ultimate sacrifice and the inevitable fate that awaited even the greatest of heroes. It is said that he was thrown into a pit of vipers by the Northumbrian king Aella, a gruesome end that only added to his legendary status. It's a tale that speaks to the Viking fascination with fate, courage, and the pursuit of glory, themes that resonated deeply within their culture. The Vikings believed that their lives were governed by fate, and that their actions could bring them honor and glory in this life and the next. Ragnar's story encapsulates these beliefs, serving as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration for future generations. These stories weren't just entertainment, they were a way to transmit values, inspire courage, and offer a framework for understanding the often harsh realities of the Viking world. Around the hearths of Viking longhouses, these tales were told and retold, each time reinforcing the values of bravery, loyalty, and resilience. They provided a sense of continuity and connection to the past, helping the Vikings navigate their challenging environment. They served as a looking glass into their beliefs, aspirations, and the very essence of what it meant to be a Viking. Through these stories, the Vikings could see reflections of their own lives and struggles, finding meaning and purpose in the exploits of their legendary heroes. Ragnar Lothbrok's saga, with its blend of history and myth, continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of the enduring power of storytelling. Well, there you have it, a cosmic journey through the world of the Vikings. From their incredible longships that sailed the seas to their lasting impact on language, culture, and our very understanding of history, the Vikings continue to captivate and intrigue us centuries later. Remember, exploring history isn't just about memorizing dates and names. It's about connecting with the past, understanding the forces that shaped our present, and appreciating the rich tapestry of human experience. The Vikings, with their explorations, their innovations, and yes, even their raids, have woven themselves into that tapestry, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate today. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Viking history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating historical content. Keep those brains firing, because the universe of knowledge is vast and there's always more to discover.